fucking week. Let me tell you that.
I've actually started recording these, so if you want to record them too, totally fine. But
Oh,
yeah,
so you can send it to me?
I'll probably put this on YouTube. Although I did just
Okay.
start recording now that you reminded me, so some of it's caught. But yeah, I definitely value turnips pretty highly in this matchup. Not as highly as versus like Jigglypuffers or Marth or something, but like I think that they're valuable. Like if we think about the things that make turnips valuable versus Jigglypuff and Marth, I think that they're pretty similar. Falco has a pretty similar dynamic going on. Because against Jigglypuff, it's that she's slow, except when she's in the air, which is kind of like Falco. And then for
Yeah.
Marth, it's to contest range, which, I mean, like, what is laser if not just a rapid fireable sword? Like, which is horrifying, but I mean.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So why aren't we
So
going in
prioritize
here?
turnips more once.
Yeah, like when you're like closer over here, like when you're over here, right? And he's shielding here. Why aren't we like fairing or something or
I
applying
don't
pressure?
know. I don't know. I might have just been stressed. I might have been trying to play it safer in case he tries to approach at me and trying to do safe spaced aerials as opposed to apply
Right.
pressure immediately. Let's
But
see what it
like
looks like in fast forward. Uh, but what am I even trying to challenge there? I'm not sure.
here. So it happens
I guess I'm
here.
trying to challenge him trying to run at me like a full hop aerial. I'll float back and then fair his landing. Or if he tries to short hop at me, then I'll hit him with it too.
Right, but what I'm saying here is that like we've already seen him present shield. You're still floating. You haven't made up your mind yet. You start floating back in response to the shield, it looks like.
You think? You think that was 15 frames? Maybe. At that point, I'm already sort of committed to my drift, I feel.
I get that, but I mean, like, if Falco moves in front of me and, like, stops moving, and then I see, like, a flash of red for his shield, I don't know.
It's shield pressure time.
I definitely don't think it's back off.
Okay.
Like, there's kind of a window of opportunity, I feel, for, like, Falco to reasonably approach your float. And I feel like
Yeah.
he kind of, like, lost it. As for, like, the turnip, like, that turnip actually did quite a bit of work. You see how it, like, pinned him in the corner, right?
Can you rewind briefly? That's pulling up
Yeah,
notebook.
of course.
Thanks.
Also, when he shoots these high lasers, those are free turnips.
True. You think you can react to the laser height to pull it out?
I think that if you guess and you're wrong, you've taken 3 damage.
That's fair.
Like if you're going up for float all the time and he's shooting high lasers to deny that, I feel like it's a pretty like this is the type of guess where like if we get it wrong, we've taken 3 at most distances.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like that we can live with 3 damage. So what I'm saying is like this turnip is actually pretty sick here because it's pinned his like retreat zones.
Yeah.
So I would have maybe done this play a little differently because of where it's zoning. What do you think about what are your thoughts here? Do you like what you did or do you think
It looks like what I'm going for is float right above the platform and then drop through Nair, like drop through hard Nair, which I really like a lot in this spot, honestly, if that's what I'm actually going for.
Okay, so like
But it looks like I'm also floating so low that I might just accidentally land on the platform and fuck myself up.
oh, so you don't land on this. So where do you land then? Or
Oh,
like
my
sorry, where do you
goal is to float just above it so that he thinks I'm covering the platform and then fall through a strong Nair and put him off stage.
I see. Okay. So here's my question. So we know that the turnip is like zoning kind of like this trajectory, right? Like it's going like this or something like that, like kind of like that. It's in this zone somewhere. Like I know it's there, but I don't know its exact arc. Let's say it's that one. So with this being here, one of the things that I like here is I like dropping down here and floating more like around this kind of height. Because then you can then you're kind of pincering him, right? Because you can put your fair here, and the turnip's cutting off his pathway back.
Yeah, does it actually fully cut it off? I guess what I would think would happen is he would just shield and then like jump to full up and then like side B the top platform. I don't know that he even does that much, but I feel like this is like I like sort of threatening to cut off his full hop escape.
Okay, but like the turnip is like overhead, so how does he full hop? Like
That's
does he
fair.
shield?
Yeah. I was thinking shield and then flop out of it, I guess.
Yeah,
but I guess
then,
if he's already shielded the turnip, you can go fair as shield. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, you just pincer him exactly. So like yeah, because the turnip's gonna hit him around here. Then you just go in and like you fair, and then boom.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I like it.
Yeah, because like you see what I mean? It just went right past him. That's the type of stuff that I think is really good against Falco because he's slow and it limits the impact of his full hop. Oh, I actually really like that setup. That was sick. Oh, I would have down smashed so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, let's speed this up a bit. So far, I like what I see though. Like you're.
Or for Twitch, by the way, you can use dot and comma to slow down and speed up.
Oh, nice. I did not know that. Yeah. Okay. So the thing I'm noticing here is a lot of times when he shoots high lasers, there aren't many callouts being done on him. There aren't many callouts to high lasers being done.
What callouts would you recommend outside of, you know, take laser, like dash underneath, dash attack, which is, I feel like, my only one I go for right now.
Hyper float forward.
Okay.
Like hyper float forward, nair, and up air. Absolutely.
Only from close ranges, though, right? Has he been shooting high lasers from very close ranges? I feel like once I get in close, they're usually a bit lower.
Well, like, okay, so like let's look at this one, right?
Yeah.
So he gets these lasers going here. Where are they? Yeah, so he's got like these lasers going, and I'm curious as to, like, he shoots a high one right here, and he goes.
Yeah,
for like
forward up air there would have destroyed him.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the things about Falco is that, like, when we allow, like, that one was a close one too, so like that would have been another like hyper float forward up air that would have probably been really good, or hyper float forward nair. I feel like we give Falco a lot of respect for some reason, and I think that one of the things that we have to get over is that this is a matchup where his neutral game is so strong it will require a certain amount of gambling in order to beat it. Because lasers are powerful and they control the pace of combat. So, but they are also a commitment. So the more things we have going on, whether that's turnips, hyper floats, dash attacks, heck, even like full forward airs, or just like friggin' like just anything really. The more pressure we put on him to have that perfect laser spacing, which is really difficult for him to maintain against so many movement options. That's one of Preach's perks against him. Like, even though she's kind of slow, she has so many, like, ways of moving that are, like, really relevant here. Love all this. Oh, no! You had that? Ugh! That's so sad. Ugh.
Yeah, happens.
Okay, so that nair.
Could we pause one sec?
Yeah.
I have a question, which is a bit of a tangent for Adams. However, it is important, I think. So last nightclub, do you follow nightclub at all?
I watch it periodically, but not all the time.
Okay, cool. Well, last week and the week before, I had 2 sets where I ended up versus players who I'm definitely seeded to beat in situations where it was game 3 in a best of 3, and I was down like 2 stocks. And then I clutched out both sets. Which is cool, and I think I've been working a lot on my mentality, so that's hype. That's the good news. The bad news is I shouldn't be in those spots to begin with. And
why?
Falco is one. Why should I not be in those spots?
Yeah.
I think I should be able to develop safer game plans where I don't think Wally or B-Bats or anyone drops a game.
Okay.
Like the other Peach at my skill level. Like the same nightclub I went on to beat B-Bats, take Triff to game 5, and had a pretty good run to get 3rd place.
So you were on fire, and you were like, everything was on point. You were giving hair, nails, makeup, and you did great.
I did good. It's just I'm still like I feel like I'm so close to choking so frequently, like so close to losing to like every single one of my sets went like last hit last stock for the whole tournament, and I managed to clutch it out. But it how do I develop safer game plans against players who maybe like have put in a good amount less hours into the game than me? You know what I mean?
Okay, so here's my question: what are Peach's safe elements?
High float mix-ups are very safe versus Falco. Turnip.
Yeah, do more of those.
Hmm.
Like, if you want,
I guess maybe it is just so simple.
Yeah, like I don't like. Okay, so what does Triff do more of
maybe
you?
Well, Triff definitely uses more terms, but like B-Bats, for instance, just rushes in, and B-Bats also I don't think would be.
But he uses high float.
He uses high float for sure. So do I.
Yeah, but who uses it more? Who wore it more?
I'm not sure. Oh, that shine sucks. I need to watch Bebots again. Yeah. I guess Bebots probably does pressure with more high floats. That's what Shrift recommended for me to do when I played against their Falco.
I mean, like, so that's my point. Like, my moves are like, I'm taking all the what we've described for like your game plan versus Falco is basically like the most aggressive high octane like Rochambeau options you can possibly pick. And then you're like, how do I be safer? And it's like, well, you have this entire other section of the character, right? And it's like...
Okay. So let's talk about what a safer game plan looks like then. So more high float, more turnips. Is that sort of foundation around in trying to play a safer version?
I mean,
so
I think that there is a necessity when we're... So, like...
I'm not saying only, I'm just saying as the default. Right now, I feel like my default is maybe even take laser.
Okay, so yeah, let's start with a different default. Maybe we start with a default that deals more with making him play the high-low laser mix-up.
Okay, let's speak to that.
Sure. So what's your understanding of the high-low laser mix-up? Like, what are your goals with it? What are the purposes?
High stops me from floating. Low stops is better against take laser because he can act faster out of it.
Right, so...
And maybe harder to power shield. So power shielding feels weird in this matchup. I'm not sure.
I would not worry too much about power shielding because we are focusing on the high-low laser mix-up.
Okay.
So, as an example...
For a long time, my answer to low was power shielding, but nowadays it no longer is. Continue, though. Sorry.
Sure. So, if he's shooting low laser, and we go... Like, what is one of our counters that we have for that? If we're shooting at this, like,
float above, approach with float.
Yeah, why not?
Like float, fast fall nair into like down smash, soft nair.
Or we could just float forward and take space and threaten him.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to necessarily attack him right away as long as we're above his like short hop aerial height. There's not really a whole lot he can do to us in that position. So let's play chicken with him. Like let's see if he hangs himself. And if he doesn't, then we have our fair, we have our nair to fall back on, we have our dare into nair thing. Like, we've got lots of options that we can work with. Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, let's start with that as a base and, like, then work our way out. We can even back air if our backs to turn to him, because, again, we're floating above most of the laser heights, and as long as we get into the spot where we can, like contest him for throwing one out, yeah, we can just back air his face. Kind of like when we have Turnip and back air, like Turnip in our back to Marth.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So now let's talk about like what our low laser, like our high laser callouts, because he's gonna start doing those to like stop us from getting back in the air. Because like again, he doesn't want us to be able to like do this stuff. So pulling Turnip's one option. What is the benefit of Turnip against him? We've identified that it can cut off space, but like what else can it do?
What is the benefit of Turnip against him? Well, it can hit him out of his laser. And then at higher percents knockdown. Very, very good at high percents.
Yeah.
It can
contests his long range game basically. Like allows us.
Yeah, we can try to outcamp him. Like,
well, I wouldn't try to outcamp him, but like it creates a threat that he has to deal with, and if he jumps into the spot he normally wants to jump into for lasering, he can't go there because he'll get hit. So it forces him to have to make decisions he normally he's not terribly enthused about making. Right. So let's take a look at this next stock. I'm assuming you're going to die at some point, but let's take a look on this next stock.
Do you like doing that?
No, it's not that you like doing it. It's just you play very balls to the walls, and I respect that. But it also means that you're not. You get to that 162 health. You get to the 160, 180 of your health bar very quickly, and I respect you for it. Because he also killed them very fast.
I would just as happily not. Like, I don't take pride in that fact.
Why?
I would love to develop. Well, no, I like how I play, but it's like I would be very open to mixing it up to be a bit safer.
Okay. So let's take a look at this stock. Let's look for opportunities for us to place more safely. So, love the Turnip pull. Love this. He's just going to give us, like, the easiest, like, gimp of our life, isn't he? Oh, that should have been an error. Okay, whatever. So we're still in control. We're still just bodying this fool. I don't know why you hate down smashing them. He's just giving us the best down smashes we've ever seen.
If you go back, well, what does down smash get us here? Right? So I get the nair here, and then I get this, and then I actually.
So you can hit him
See,
back.
I can't cover both options with down smash. I would need to hit a pivot down smash to RTC, and I've never practiced that.
I mean, I'm just saying,
I do pivot down smashes. I just don't do it to RTC.
I wouldn't have done the dash.
Yeah, I think I just initially thought he like I think I dashed it to smash turnaround left and then went to try to grab or to get cover low to the left. And I don't know. I like platform tech chasing with Peach. I feel like you get a lot off it.
Yeah, no, so do I. I'm just saying I would probably have, like, upon landing, I would have just stood still for a second. Because by landing here, like, if he goes here with his tech stand, his mistech, or his, like, tech roll over here, we can just down smash him. If he goes over here, I run over and forward throw him.
Fair. Okay, fine. I'll try that out.
I mean, like, again, there's literally nothing wrong with what you did. What you did was, like, probably, like, more damage, and it's probably more consistent of a line. I just like down smashing people. Because I think that, like, in a world of slide off and stuff, and where people, like, hold down for Omsa techs, I think that it, like, just randomly down smashing in combos is, like, sometimes pretty good. So let's take a look at how we go safely here. So one thing I would say is I probably wouldn't have gone for that umbrella if I was playing more safely. I might have pulled the turnip first. The umbrella is not too bad, but I'd probably not go for that dash attack. That's another turnip, because he's up all the way up there, and he can't really stop me.
Yeah.
So...
He Omsa tech that. Oh, you get hit by so much, but if you don't Omsa tech, it's theirs.
But, like, the thing is, we could have avoided a lot of this if we just pulled a veggie and then set up, like, a more competitive zoning game. Because, like, we're now, like, playing this pressure string with him on his terms, and we're running away from him into the corner. I think that what the turnip helps us do there is it helps us, like, compete with his offense, so we don't let that happen as easily.
That's fair. I guess, like, okay, so if you go, like, what happens if I pull turnip there? I pull turnip there. Laser's about to hit me on his way down, right?
Okay, so
and then
so let's get to the point. So you're gonna go up there. I think we, like, get down here. So I'm saying, like,
I go down here. He's about to fall down with laser, so I can pull a turnip and then shield. But I can't do very much else. But I could try to pull a turnip and then power shield turnip throw. That'd be pretty sweet.
I would probably just buffer jump out of shield away from him, and then set up float. Or throw the turnip.
That's a good point.
Or throw the turnip on the way
I was
up.
like, I'll be in shield. I'll be stuck. It'll be annoying. I don't think I buffer jump enough out of shield. I think.
Yeah. And also look how far away he's going to be. Like, if he doesn't, like, he's in place, we're over here. Like, there's no way that laser ever locks us down in 1,000,000 years. Like, we just jump out. We have our game plan set up. We have a turnip. We have our float. We can go on the side plat. We've got so many ways of defending against him. Like, he's not coming in anytime soon.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Like, one of the things that I think you did really well against, what's his face? The Falco. Yeah. So you actually pulled a lot of turnips really well against him.
I did.
So I'm not seeing any of them against this guy. And he's not playing, and he's not playing any more aggressively. I'll tell you that much. Like, that turnip pull was so sick. And, like, look, it got him to double jump. So if we take a look at this, like, here, watch what happens when you pull that turnip and he's, like, screwing around up there. Like, that, you could have actually gone for the dash attack there and it would have been pretty reasonable. You could have also looked for a down tilt. Because once the down...
I don't think I use down tilts at all in this matchup. I'm not saying it's bad, I don't think I look for it at the moment. You think where do you think it has uses?
Well, when he's doing these movements, like when he's doing these movements that involve lots of double jumps and back airs going up. Like, yeah, if he's doing double jumps into moves that don't have hitboxes when they're coming down, yeah, I would say that's a good time to down tilt because he's operating within a fixed zone. Yeah, like turnip, perfect. You could also just like So what's the best way to throw them at him when he's like when he's on the other side of yeah, you just hit him with it. Like that was it. That was awesome.
Yeah. I thought I'd float there.
So I think one of the things here that we're seeing is that like what you do after the turnip needs to be better defined.
I think that's probably a big part of why I don't hold him as much. I don't know that I see it as a clear risk reward as I do versus Marth.
Okay.
But I believe like I'm starting to see the vision now, but it's not like not in my game plan as far as this set goes.
So
The
what
full
I would
turnip.
say here is, like, I don't know why you're jumping forward with it. I would be, like, throwing it upwards, but, like, in place.
You throwing it upwards?
Sorry, throw while going up, but in place.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
no. Yeah, because, like, you see what I mean? Like, it just brick walls
With the
him.
goal to, so is it the turnip won't knock down yet? I don't think.
No, it
And
stops him
so-
from shooting lasers and coming forward. So then you can.
Sure. So it's more of just like the end goal of that is to get the turnip hit, not to follow up on it.
Well, we are taking position because, like, remember,
Okay.
he's gonna like.
Right.
So he's gonna get hit backwards. Like, if he's from here, he's gonna get hit backwards around here. We come up like this. We move forward. We can catch our turnip and throw it again if we want to, which then pressures his next laser.
Mm.
So the purpose of this is that we are taking stage position and being very irritating to him. Because we don't have to, like, play, because we're denying him his ability to set up his camping game. No, his zoning game. So that's the purpose of it. This is more about not letting him do whatever the hell he wants.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're pinning him, we're doing damage, we're pushing him to the corner, we're denying the laser. For him to stop this, he has to come forward with a risky attack after being hit by it, the initial one. And as
You
Peach...
view it as...
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, continue.
I was gonna say, as Peach, we're thrilled. Like, that's the dream.
Okay.
That's what we want him to do.
Fair. Are you thinking of it as short hop or full hop when you're trying to pin this?
Full hop rising turnip throw, then
No.
without dash jump. Like, we just do it in place, move forward, and then after it hits him, then we, like, catch it if we want it or not, because we don't know if we want it or not. We still have to observe him and see what he's doing. If he comes forward, we just probably, like, float, and we react and float and then do our thing. If it looks like he's pulling away, we catch turnip and chuck it at him again.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, and then, like, there's other mix-ups. Like, if we catch the turnip and he goes up here, we can, like, potentially double jump and chuck it at him up there. Like, we got stuff. But the important thing is to use the stuff, because the turnip zones so many different angles and positions against a character. So against a character who's, like, trying to get into the air to set up his own stuff, like, that's really, 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 really annoying.
Almost ends up being like a high laser.
It is kind of a high laser in a way, except ours has knockback.
True.
And also, like, transitions into shield pressure much more, like, cleanly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make Falco suffer. That is my platform in 2025. Vote KK to make Falco suffer.
At the moment, I do be suffering versus Falco, so that would be nice. I'll vote for you.
Let's go. I've got the guava vote. Now I just need to get the mango vote, and then I'll have all the fruit. I'll have all the power of the fruit.
Yeah.
No!
Am I the second best fruit-based smasher? No, bananas. Is they still playing?
Oh yeah, bananas was really good. Man, I don't know who this person is, but I hate him. No, I'm kidding.
404? 404 is a beast.
He's really good.
Yeah, he consistently beats like Wally and P-Bats, is my understanding.
Do we have do we have more versus him, or is that it?
That's it versus him, I think. I might have a ranked one, but it'll be from a bit longer ago.
Okay.
But I feel like there might be even more to learn from that. As in, like, so we went over a big change in my neutral game plan versus Falco, which is not to say throw out the things I have, because some of those things are good. Take laser dash attack, shield, hyperflow forward, all good. But I think defaulting safer with turnips and high floats and stuff that allows me to take space without having to do a crazy committal option, I think will help both versus top players and versus players who I really shouldn't be losing to.
Yeah. Although one thing I would say, lose the shouldn't be losing to. Like, players that are maybe not beating you because of a skill, because of, like, you know, like, but maybe players who indicate there might be a, you know, like a matchup. Yeah, PvP.
Players who are seeded a good bit less than me.
Yeah, there you go. Because, like, the thing about should gets us into our own head. Should is, like, the nemesis. Like, should is the nemesis to performing well.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. I think I've been doing better about having more respect, especially in the tournament set, as opposed for any of my opponents, which has served me well, and I think it's helped me make a lot of these comebacks. However, I think it's also good to be honest to myself that my playstyle does not bode itself for it does not do it's not a consistent one, or at least it's less consistent than I feel like some of the other top features are. It has high highs, but also like low lows. So I would like to fix that.
I mean, you know what? I think that the fact that you're willing to identify it and like you've spotted that there is this opportunity and you are taking the steps to like to change it. That bodes really well. So let's make a few diagrams to help us understand these like laser things, because
Let's do it.
I need you two on the same plane for a second, which is like so we'll be waiting for a bit, but get on the floor, dang it. Or okay, die to shine. Yeah, that'll do. I think
that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. Honestly, this guy's like, I can't believe that this guy beats you. No, I'm kidding. He's really good. I can tell he's good.
He's really good.
Okay, so someone please get onto the same plane as somebody else. If not, I will just use the stage.
I feel like the maybe the next game had more on the same plane, or the first stock, right?
You know what? We're just gonna use this. Screw it. I've given up. So let's grab this and this. And here's what we'll do. So we're going to put you on the floor in pink, and we will put him also on the floor in blue. So that's you, and we're going to put him over here, and he's a bird. I'm a bird. And then he's got like his weird like metal bird legs. So the dynamic of this position is pretty, of this position with like the lasers. So he can shoot them high, or he can shoot them mid, or he can shoot them low. We're going to focus on mid, on these two, because mid is dealt with by the same things that deal with low, in that we float over them. So the question here is, how do we structure our play so that like so that we have a decent, so that we are safer? So I guess the first thing I want to know is the turnip pull. What are some things we can use to what are some things we can use as indicators that we maybe don't want to, that there's a good chance the high laser is coming? What are some clues that we have to work with there, you think? Because like Falco presumably is not just picking lasers randomly, right?
I feel like when they drift in place is usually high laser, because they don't. I feel like most toggles are not as approaching with high laser.
Yeah, agreed. Because like it makes no sense to, because high laser is like they're
just to
vulnerable.
Stop me from floating.
Yeah, high laser stops float. So in place stops float in place, and we'll add that as a note. In place. Perfect.
Yep.
So if we know that this is in place and we see him jump up like this, we can get rid of the protractor or the ruler. So if we see him jump up in place like this, at this kind of trajectory, we have a pretty good feeling that we can pull turnip, can't we?
Yes.
Or we feel better about it.
Yeah. But if you do get hit by it and it's in place, it's unlikely he'll be able to follow it up.
Yeah, so turnip.
Yeah.
So that would be one, if in place. Because, like, reacting to the jump trajectory is, like, kind of, like, not that bad. So what about a low laser? What defines a low laser? Like, when is he more likely to do those?
Approaching is usually low laser. Or
I would also say, what about retreating, right?
Retreating can be either.
Okay, cool. That's important to note. Retreat is either. Retreat, no Q. Or retreat can be either.
So I don't... Just thinking about it. How often are Falcos doing retreating laser versus me? I don't know that I see it very much.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't have enough data to say that.
We'll put like a question mark.
Yeah.
And then approaching is almost always. So then approaching is low.
Usually low, yeah. Or mid.
Cool. So now we have a better sense of like what we can do to pull the turnip and how to guide our decision making. This won't be 100% accurate. Is there any spatial concerns we want?
Do you think I have time to react to? I guess that's the spatial concern. There are situations where I just won't have time to properly react to them jumping forward at me if he is able to threaten like a dare, right?
I feel like this we can probably say that this is one Falco short hop away, right?
Sure. Yeah, roughly.
So I would say that this is the no-no zone. This is when we don't pull the turnip, because this spacing is like it means that if he jumps forward with laser and attacks you, then you
combos.
Yeah, it just combos into stuff. So how far away do we want Peach to be realistically?
Because more than a short hop laser, more than a short hop away.
I mean, yes, but like how much more?
I guess I only feel safe in this type of situation if I'm like more than 2, honestly.
So like all the way over here?
Maybe halfway there.
Here?
Yeah.
So what? Maybe we can define that as 1.5 short hop lasers.
Yeah. Do you agree with that? I feel like that's just my gut check, but I don't know if it's right.
That is the foundation of Dr. Peepee's laser spacing theory. So yes, I am fairly certain I agree with that. Sweet. So yeah, like no.
Good gut check.
Yeah, no, like that was one hell of a gut check. Let's also talk platforms here. So it's another spot we can like platforms. I think play an interesting role in the safe turnip pull. I'm gonna erase this, but I've already sent it to you. So, but like let's take a look at. I'm gonna erase this stuff, but let's take a look at like the role of platforms in this whole equation. Because I think that platforms actually provide an interesting middle point for this whole situation, because they give us a way to pull turnips on the low laser, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because you can jump to platform. You can also even like jump above platform, or like pretend to jump to platform, and fast fall through. Yeah, I feel like you can use I feel like platforms are where I have my happy space pulling turnips versus Falco at the moment.
I agree with that. I think that's very astute. So yeah, the other thing, I guess the consideration that we define that as is on low laser, we can also move here, DJL, and then turnip. And then we can pull the turnip in that spot. And the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of characters don't exactly want to, like, jump into Peach when she's up here. So this is also a reason it's, like, pretty safe to pull here. Because if we just hold down and, like, look at him for a second, a lot of times it's pretty discernible that he doesn't want to, like, actually mess with us. Because usually, like, a lot of times, like, if we go up there, like, what do? They jump over here and start shooting lasers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we just pull the turnip, we maybe take 3 damage, like, we move on with our day. But...
Drop the turnip, dude, RNG. The classic.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, so then no, that's a good point. So maybe there is some skill in this position, because if we go up here and we pull the turnip in, like, quickly, or at a time when he's still moving up with his full jump but can't hit us with the laser, maybe that's an opportunity for us to then, like, go under the laser afterwards. You know what I mean? Because
turnip pull.
Yeah. So like I'm thinking a motion like he shoots like this. So then what if we do something like, after we have the turnip, like we go something like this, the laser shoots over, and then we like do our double jump wind up while he's here, and then have like that kind of motion, because we can stop our double jump at any point here and have like, and with turnip throw into float, so we have access to like all these different float heights, right? Like here, we have probably like maybe not that low, but like maybe like these 3 zones, like that's pretty good. And we also have the turnip flying at him. I don't know. Seems pretty solid. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like you don't usually have time to get below the laser height if he's reacting to your double jump land on platform and shooting lasers. But I still don't think it's a bad risk reward. I think usually you get the turn up there. Yeah. And if he does react late, I think it's a good option to take space.
Yeah. Okay. So like, yeah, so maybe it's not exactly what we have going on here, and I see your point about like about this being slow. But at the same time, like, I think that there's still... Honestly, what if we pull the turnip and jump over this laser? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Yeah, but, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the technology.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely lines of play here that, like, afterwards, if we get over this, even if we shield the laser and just, like, go out after, because we have buffer jump, too. Like, there's so many options.
When you say buffer jump, should I actually be, like, buffering jump, like, with the C-stick?
I mean,
I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I think that's just to go into Uncle Punch for 5 seconds and like into Uncle Punch for 5 seconds and learn it. Like learn the laser out of shield timing thing. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. But I like this. I think there's a lot of potential here, and I think that this could be a very good foundation for something with a little more safety. Because yeah, like if I think about one of the safest Peaches of all time, like even like not even counting Armada, I mean like throughout the ages, Like even in like the Bronze Ages when we were still rubbing like Pikachus together for electricity, it's just like even back then, turnips were like a really critical component of the character, and I feel like they're like something that's missing in your gameplay, like somewhat. Now, granted, you're crazy at offense. Like, my God, do you move fast? But like, I also think that we're giving up some safety here, and there's something to be said for just like floating over the laser height and with like in this like in one of these scary ass like heights, and then just like being like I can ferry you, I can nair you, I can back air you, right? Like we just have so many tools here.
Low-key, once you've conditioned this mix-up of I'm gonna go to platform and pull a turnip, you could go to platform and just not pull a turnip and just float above where that last laser is gonna come down and probably get a fair off if he does the classic like full hop triple laser or whatever.
Yeah. And know what? What's really cool is that like if we go for one of these mix-ups and we're wrong, we take like 3 damage. Instead of being directly next to Falco and exploding.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that might be nice. I do. As much as I like exploding, I'm happy to let it go sometimes.
I think that like this will be a very good like support. Like I don't think this will be able to take over your base like right away. Maybe it will. Who knows? You're very talented. But I think that this will give you a lot more flexibility in terms of how you approach the match. And I think that and for conditioning your opponent. Remember, all of these times you get so much information about like Falco when he's doing this stuff that I think that there's a lot of value to just making him have to do more interactions against you. Because again, the value of a small read for him is significantly lower than the value of a small read for you. And the more we can know about him, the better.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That all sounds very good. Do you have any other words of wisdom for Falco, or should we spend like 20 minutes talking about Puff or whatever?
Let's do some Jigglypuff, because I don't really have more about for this. I think that you're ready for this. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, this is truly a very big game plan reworking for me, which is good because this is the one matchup where I kind of felt like I didn't have a proper game plan. Using some of the tips we went over, even if it's not for the Falcon matchup, it was more for the Sheik matchup. But I used some of those tips and beat JoJo for the first time, by the way. So thanks for that.
Let's go, Guava.
Yeah,
Guava sucks up. All right, so let's talk about Puff Peach.
Yeah, let's talk about Puff Peach.
So lies. Anyway, no kidding. Okay, so who do we watch? Like, do you have sets? Do we have YouTube? Like, what do we got to work with?
Let me. Sorry, Slippy Files.
No, it's all good.
You want me to run it, or you want to run it?
Why don't you run it?
Files.
Why don't you run it? That's fine.
All right. Here was. Sorry, were these close at all, or were these both just awful games? I forget if I was. All right, we'll watch the. All right, we only have.
Well, we have 20 minutes. It's fine.
20 minutes. So let's watch the last 2 games of this set versus Sasa. I won the first game, but I think the losing games are usually more important to analyze.
Agreed.
All right, so let me share. Or I'll run the thing and then I'll share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
So we struck to Fountain. How do you feel about that? First off,
totally fine.
Even something I was thinking about until I saw that Sermeris strikes to.
I don't think you're streaming right now.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Okay, cool. Fountain is totally fine. 0 problems with Fountain.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm losing it. Sorry, one sec. Did I accidentally close the thing?
Yeah, I don't think you're streaming anymore.
Oh god damn it.
It's okay. If you need me to drive.
Keyboard shortcuts. Alright, try number 2. So Fountain was game 1, and now we're on Battlefield for game 2, and I'm about to stream in 3 seconds.
Perfect.
Alright, you can see my screen?
Yep.
Alright, that's good.
Oh, this is
So my
Zaza?
general game plan right off the bat is to try to stay above and diagonally above Jigglypuff and come down with bears and tricky movement and bears and turnips.
Oh, so you do like the Polish approach, basically.
Yeah. I'm not as much of like a... I do try out some Dash Chance subfloat under up air stuff and whatnot, but I would say my default is not that.
Okay. So let's see here. So lots of dash attacks I see. Those are very
scary. That one was risky. The others were okay because the puff was airborne, but that one particular, she could have been shielding. Should have been bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, the plan of going above her, like, so with Jigglypuff, I think that you have two options. You either play in the diagonals or you play below her. I think that one thing that makes sense would be to, like, look at how slow she is coming up to chase after you up there, right? So I think that's really, like, where your chance to get under her. Like this. Yeah, this is all good. Go back, like, 5 seconds. Okay. Yeah, so you get this up air, this, like, phenomenal up air. I would be looking for a Nair to just hit her away. Because the Nair covers more space.
Nair instead of up air?
After the first up air.
So yeah. I think I wasn't expecting it to reverse.
Okay.
Or maybe I was. One of the two.
It's all good. It's all good. If it's like if you just weren't expecting
second up air, I think is fine there too, which is what I went for. It's just I missed it.
I guess from my position is that, like, because of the high duration of Nair, if she drifts away and, like, we barely miss her, Nair is, like, much less dangerous for counter hit. Because we, like, still trade, and we can sometimes get weak hit, strong hit, and stuff like that. And
I don't know that works on Puff, but still, I think you might be right with Nair. The duration is nice.
Yeah.
But the something I saw Surmaris do on Battlefield a lot, though, was after I played this set, was like go up the top platform and really float up there for a bit and like make it so that Puff would have to come up to you and then come down with a fair as the Puff tried to retreat after pressuring you. It seemed really good.
I mean, I haven't seen that really used before, but like, do you think you could learn? Do you think it's worth applying? If you think it's worth applying, I say go for it.
I'd say it's worth applying, but I'm happy to hear your ideas too, and specifically things that look like I'm just doing straight out wrong would be great.
I mean, like, I think that the general game plan is good. I think that the only thing that I'd comment is that, like, so when you start like zoning her side to side like that, I just don't see what you're trying to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Which part?
So like, look, so you pull the turnip on this other side of the platform, like here. But then you kind of like try to like back air her, like compete with her back air for some reason, and I just don't see why we're doing that.
Where am I supposed to get a turnip throw? Like, where should I be going instead? What's the safer option?
I mean, I'd just be shielding on the floor and letting her like come down and throwing it at her at some point. Like,
I feel like Puff, when you shield with a turnip, is tough. I mean, you can Q drop, but if you try to throw it at the Puff, it usually goes over or through.
Even when she's in the air?
Pressuring your shield. Not when she's in the air, I guess. So you think...
I don't know if you had a chance, like, exactly here, like, exactly in that spot, but I just... It feels like you're trying really...
for it.
Yeah, it just feels like you're just backing off, like... Or trying to, like, play this... Like, you're willingly, like, playing this lateral game with her, and I don't think that's really congruent with the rest of your strategy. Because, like, you...
So, instead, like...
Let's just...
Turnip in...
Yeah, let's not worry about it now. Like, if it comes up, I'll point it out then.
Okay. So I'm curious if there's an idea here that I don't have. That'd be good.
Yeah, so like we got this turnip. Let's see what we do with it. So so when she goes above you like that, that's the kind of thing that I would go for, even with basic turnips though.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so this is just, like when you get stuck and float next to her, that's like the devastating thing. Like that's when like everything goes to hell, I think, in this matchup.
Yeah.
This matchup looks so hard.
It's a hard matchup. I do not have time to learn a secondary.
No, I would not, given your goals, I would never recommend that. Absolutely not.
No, definitely not.
I actually really like how you're doing, see how you're like hitting her up with it when she's in the air? Like this is the type of thing that I'm like the turnip is good for, but you were like, but in previous interactions you were like floating floating with back air in some of those spots. And I'm just like,
I feel like
it just doesn't
I think honestly,
her.
I think to defend my spot there, actually, I don't know that I hate it, because I think that you're kind of like when you're scrapping with Puff, like there for instance, right? I think sometimes Puff is not really expecting you to be able to easily contest this space, and back air walls out and trades nicely there, whereas a Puff bear might go through the turnip and hit me.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that like okay, so it's after this is the part I think the one that I took more issue with because that one there I thought was good. So
okay.
I agree that it's not like 100% black and white, but I'm just looking for the one where.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to understand the spot where it's bad then.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with whether or not you or the Puff has initiative going in. So like this kind of thing. Like, I feel like you pulled the turnip and you could and I'm just not sure what we're trying to do with it some of the time. Like there with that after that back air. Like I feel like
this rising turnip throw.
Yeah, like I would have just thrown it at her on the ground. Like she was
on the ground. Yeah, fair.
Like just take the damage, like put pressure on her, get some distance, maybe potentially catch the turnip. Now let's look at these ones because I think that these are the ones where I had more. That nair was amazing. Love that nair. Yeah, now you're trying to like force her right into. Where is it? I guess it's maybe the percent. That's why, because yeah, I think this is the part. But maybe it's on this stock. I don't know. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe you just played like this. Maybe you played this extremely well, and I'm just like hallucinating. I hope it's not that. But
well, it's all good. We can take a look through if we have it recording later. Do we want to go on to the next game?
Let's just watch this last stock, and then if it's not there, then I give up. What I will say though is that like I think the general game plan here is fine. There's nothing like nothing in terms of decisions other than like the dash attacks making me nervous. That okay. So when you're pulling this turnip, I don't know why we're floating to back here when we have the top platform open. Like, the whole point of this strategy is that we're, like, being above her or we're being below her, right? But we're kind of, like, allowing her to be lateral with us when we move into that spot. And I know we're chasing her around and being successful, but then she gets in on us.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Sorry. I do. So, avoid lateral.
Float versus back air fight.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing in this match that I've seen where I was just like, that moment makes no sense. Like, everything else I think is, like, pretty defensible. But that's the one where I'm like, I don't know what we were going for here.
Yeah, fair. Okay. You want to check out the next one?
Yeah, I think we're good on this one. Yeah. There's nothing really glaring there.
Yeah, I'll kill my stream.
It's all good.
I took this Puff to Pokemon.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I think Pokemon's fine. Like, how did it go?
I think I lost, but it was a long one.
Ah. Well, I don't know if we can do anything about it being a long one. That's fine.
Okay. It was. I think I remember it being close, but yeah.
I actually like watching this matchup sometimes. How do you feel about
Interesting one.
How do you feel about grabbing her more in some of these spots? Like, she shields a lot next to you.
It's not bad. You don't get a lot off of it, and it introduces the crouch mix-up, which is a little stressful when I'm in shield. But I guess that introduces double jump land out of shield down smash. But
no, I mean like when she's in shield next to you, because like you're throwing.
Oh, when she but I'm saying you're saying react to the shield grab.
Well, I just mean that if she's gonna shield turnips and stuff like that, then why not? Why not just?
Here, wait, which spot are you referring to? Sorry.
So let's go. So it's earlier on the match. Like you'll see it come up a few times. So like, yeah, let's start. You're gonna throw turnip at her, and she's gonna block it. Yeah, this one. So I don't think it's like I don't think we gotta grab that one, but I noticed that she shields. I noticed she shields a lot in general, like this Puff in particular. I don't know. I feel like
it's an interesting idea. I can't grab when I have that turnip though. So in that spot I can't do it. But
no.
It's still not a bad idea. You don't get a lot off grab in this matchup, but it's nice to be able to make them feel less safe.
Like, she's, like, shielding next to you a lot. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Rolling a lot, too, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah.
Kind of trouble punishing it.
Oh, so with that one you want to read that one a little more. So the reason they do that, they do forward roll, is because they have more invincibility on it than other characters.
One of the only characters that Peach can't safely nair down smash on.
I know.
Roll.
But if you just run the other way in nair...
Yeah, fair. I think I did that a couple times in the last game, at least. I don't know if I do it much in this game. There's some sick shit.
That was really, really, really good. If at this point I'm just like camp this, I'm just like just run away and like just be miserable. But you see what like she does it so much.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. I didn't even notice that. I don't think it's that. Ugh.
So that's okay. Like that to me just means we need to be a little observant about defense. Like how is the opponent? If we're doing a lot of attacks and we're getting the opponent into our strong positions, because like I would say that establishing a block string with Peach is still a pretty good spot even in this one. If we're not getting much off those, that probably suggests that she's doing something about that.
Sure.
Like that was so good, and the turnip zones like so it protects you kind of against the next pull. That one was great. Like, all of this is gold. I don't know how you lose this. Well, there's still, like, 5 minutes left, so I can kind of put together a guess, but...
Yeah. Slowly and painfully.
See, here's the thing. So she's doing these back air walls. I don't know why we're going up there after her. I would just be like, go under the turnip, go under the platform, let her miss, and then throw it at her as she's coming down and landing.
So you stay in, like... You can't see my mouse, can you?
I can.
Oh, you can. You stay, like, over here?
Yeah.
And then, like... kind of just waits in a spot where she'd have trouble approaching, and then she'll eventually land, and then ground a turnip throw or whatever.
Yeah. Take your damage. Take your freebie. I mean, this is another example of, like, where we can play more safe. Like, Jigglypuff has trouble approaching. We were ahead until now, where we're 1 damage behind, but we still have the projectile in this matchup. Well, like, we can be annoying.
Yeah.
Because, like, look at how she has to move to, like, approach this. But if we just go behind, and you can, like, play up there, and then, like, what you can do is you can play up there and then go down, so that you can, like, when she's used her first, like, 2 or 3 jumps, because her jumps depreciate in value.
Yep.
So, like, that can be a really good way to use that. But you can see, like, she always has to land in kind of the same zone, like, relative to the platform, because of, it's always, like, whatever side she starts on, it's always, like, around that side that she lands on.
Okay.
Because, yeah, she doesn't have the air mobility. Well, she has the air mobility. It's that, like, she has the air mobility, she's just run out of jumps, though. So, like, she has to just drift. And she has to avoid the platform, so, yeah, her movement path is somewhat restricted.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like, see, whenever you come forward behind the platform that she's, like, no, on the side that she's guarding of the platform, that's when things go wrong. Heck, you could probably stand on the other side.
Could you repeat that statement?
Yeah.
Just so I internalize it.
Yeah, for sure. So go back, like, exactly 1 second. Yeah, there. So you see how you came forward and crossed the side of the platform? Like, yeah, so you went into the part of the platform that she controls. So if you're on your side of the platform, you just want to pay attention to the side, to where her, to the spot she controls. If she's controlling the right side of the platform, generally speak, or the left side, you generally can't go past, like, the halfway point to that. You have to be behind. Yeah, you have to be near the end of the other side of the platform, or a little further back, to be safe. Like,
that
here.
Makes sense.
Here, let's.
And so then you kind of chill out in the corner there, throw
Yeah.
turnips, and eventually try to, like, do something tricky with double jump land or get above or something instead of trying to cross underneath.
Yeah, or you can do the other order. Like, you start above, like, you float around, you mess around up in the air like you've done before, and then you drop down as she's running out of jumps, and then just, like, play with the turnip there.
I see.
Because, yeah, like, once the turnip is basically... You know how with aerials you sometimes want to be, like, landing on top of the opponent as they're coming down?
Mm-hmm.
Turnips are kind of like that.
Like, there. Oh, well, one more jump.
Yeah,
sure.
But you get the idea. Like,
Same thought was past me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do get the idea there.
The other cool thing is if you get to the ground low enough, and she only has... If you know she only has 1 jump, you can also just jump forward and throw the turnip down.
Jump forward and throw the turnip down?
Yeah, because if you know that she only has 1 jump or no jumps left, and you're already on the ground, you can also just go over and around her, throw the turnip down at her, and then like try to combo off it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if any of this will help you versus Hungrybox, but versus not Hungrybox, probably. When she's doing that, when they're doing these stupid ones, instead of the full hop nairs that you're doing, go for full hop fair. The range matters.
Yeah, fair.
Like, nair is good for speed, but like sometimes against her, you just need the extra range above you. So like, yeah, fair good. Fair good is a mix up there. It might still not work because if her spacing is good, but like, you know, it can.
Need to read the rolls.
Yeah, read the rolls.
I think that's honestly like if I just was thinking about reading rolls more, I think I win this set.
Reading rolls and grabbing
game.
the shield. Yeah, I think that those two things would make like a huge difference.
Yeah.
This is the most boring Jigglypuff player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Who is this?
It's the standard, unfortunately. This is Zasa. They're #1 in some state. I don't remember which. North Carolina, maybe? I think North Carolina.
Okay.
She's pretty good. But it's also boring to play.
Whatever, we'll beat her yet.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it felt not bad. I mean, that felt like it was pretty close. But I think that reading the rolls is good. I think I really lost like entire stocks just to getting lazy and approaching laterally.
Yeah, and like
I feel like when I was actually playing the non-lateral game, I was like winning.
Yeah,
most
she just
interactions.
She won that one by stamina. It happens.
Yeah, hopefully I have better stamina in tourney than in ranked. I have found myself that's true, but we'll see.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say that's like absolutely consistent with my experience of working with you. So absolutely, you're really good in tournament. I feel like and getting better.
Yeah, I really have been. It's been awesome. Definitely in large part thanks to your lessons, so I appreciate it. I think the mentality one really carried me through the last 2 weeks. It was two good weeks at my club, so
let's go.
Hopefully I can do well at collision where it counts.
I mean, you know what? Remember, we don't worry too much about that because whatever happens. But I'm pulling for you, Guava. Like, I think you got this. You have everything you need. So
appreciate it.
Remind me, who have you beaten so far? You've beaten JoJo. You've beaten
who? I beat JoJo. I beat B-Bats. I beat I beat Kata, but I usually beat Kata. I beat Itai, who beat Triff.
And then so you beat Triff. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. Peach players, put down your
Triff later, and I had like a fairly close game 5 with Triff, which was pretty cool. Triff has an injured finger, which is unfortunate because there's a bit of an asterisk on it. But I mean, last time I played Triff, it felt, even earlier that day when I played Triff, it felt impossible. And when I played them in bracket, I took them game 5. It was close enough. It timed me out. It happens. But yeah.
High octane melee. But
yeah,
no,
definitely was an interesting experience. My first time my wife has gotten to see a set like that where you're just playing for timeout.
I hear your wife is like a whole cheering section all by herself.
Oh yeah, she's great.
What's her name? It's
Stacy.
Stacy, yeah. Stacy the goat. All right.
The goat for sure.
So as with all of our lessons, if you have any follow-up questions about any of the content we've gone over, from safe turnip pulls to mentality to any of the to how to deal with annoying, extremely talented Jigglypuff players, then yeah, let me know. But yeah, I hope you kill it at Collision. I'm rooting for you, and I'm so excited, and I hope you have.
I appreciate it.
Is it your wife? Is this like your honeymoon with your wife that you're going on for your break with, or?
Yeah, delayed honeymoon.
Nice. Yeah. I hope you have a fantastic time, and I wish you and Stacy like a wonderful trip. Have a great one.
So
okay.
Wait, sorry. One more thing, actually. Could you post this after Collision? That's my only request. If you're first recording, thank you. Cool. I mean, yes, thank you so much, KK. I appreciate it. Thanks again for the lessons. Yeah, and have a great one as well.
Sounds good.